Hey, we ain't afraid to start over, ladies and gentlemen, and so is our nation. You know, after months, years really, of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris referring to our former president, Donald Trump, as Hitler, referring to our former president as, quote, the biggest threat to democracy this country has ever seen. Now, after a shooting that came within centimeters of killing Donald Trump, the former president and current Republican frontrunner, they want to tone down the temperature. They want to tone down the temperature because, well, they want to get elected. And here's the deal. I'm going to let you, because I never know what's appropriate. I never know what's inappropriate. I don't know. But I want to let you decide something. So if you're going to, as many, including Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, have called or compared Donald Trump to Hitler. And as Joe Biden said, I'm quoting, Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything America stands for. Then why are you saddened that he got shot? Matt Walsh said it best. If you're going to compare him to Hitler, you think he's Hitler. If you really think he's Hitler, then why aren't you happy that the man got shot? I guess you're happy or sad because he didn't get killed? I mean, let's be honest. I think everybody in America would agree that you would want Hitler dead. I think everybody in America would say, look, we have to eliminate, and I'm going to quote Joe Biden here, we have to eliminate, that's my words, not his, the person that is, and I'm going to read, Donald Trump is a genuine threat to this nation. He's a threat to our freedom. He's a threat to our democracy. He's literally a threat to everything that America stands for. That is from Joe Biden. That is not only him on Twitter, that's what he said in rallies. So I guess the question becomes, you all have put this out there so often, why are you upset? Other than the fact that they missed? Is that why you're upset? Now we're supposed to tone down the temperature. Here's what I would like, and maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I've watched too much House of Cards. But one thing I know is conspiracy theories have, well, they've come true a hell of a lot. In fact, Tucker Carlson said about a year ago, it is trending towards an assassination attempt on Trump. Everybody lost their mind. Oh my God, this is another conspiracy theory. You know what I say? It's another conspiracy theory that came true. So now we have a president, and now we have old heels up, who have done all they can do to put this guy in the crosshairs of some crazy person, and that's what happened. But I would love 20 minutes with the shoot. I want to find out who's behind it. I mean, there's just too much weirdness. I mean, there's a roof right over here with a clear shot at the president. He's sitting there, and apparently they had 2 minutes to know that the guy was there. Fans of Trump are screaming there's a guy on the roof with a gun, and the Secret Service does nothing? Look, I'm not smart enough, and I have too much respect for law enforcement to go wacky on this, but there are questions. There are serious, serious questions. I'll tell you one person I feel bad for. I feel bad for that Amy Schumer-looking Secret Service agent who, for no reason other than the fact that she played the system and now the system is turning on her by criticizing her, she's become a mockery of what the Secret Service stands for. Should the Secret Service head step down? Of course. I mean, all I got to do is look at it. I mean, they exposed his head. I said it at the time. I'm watching with my friends, and I'm like, they can't do that. He has to be covered at all times, and there he is. And let's go back to what's really important, Donald Trump's health. Donald Trump is fine. Donald Trump played golf yesterday, and Donald Trump's a badass, man. When he went out there, yeah, that's a badass right there. That's the reaction of America. That's not the reaction of pussy-ass America. That's not the reaction of some bearded little white dude driving his K car or his Chevy Cruze or whatever it is. That's the reaction of an American freaking hero. And Biden can slur his way through battle boxes and the former Trump and everything else that he slurred through last night. And everybody can spin it however they want, but the truth of the matter is Donald Trump is an American badass. And he showed it. And he continues to show it. And if you vote for anybody other than Donald Trump, well, you're just a dumbass. There's different kinds of asses. See, one's a badass, one's a dumbass. See what I did there? All right, let's get into it. Here's Donald Trump's reaction after, well, playing golf after he got shot. Thank you to everyone for your thoughts and prayers yesterday, as it was God alone who prevented the unthinkable from happening. We will fear not, but instead remain resilient in our faith and defiant in the face of wickedness. Our love goes out to the other victims and their families. We pray for the recovery of those that were wounded and hold in our hearts the memory of the citizen who was so horribly killed. In this moment, it is more important than ever that we stand united, show our true character as Americans, remaining strong and determined, and not allowing evil to win. I truly love our country and love you all. And look forward to speaking to our great nation this week from Wisconsin, DJT. I'm just telling, nothing political in there. None of the bullshit you see, like last night when Biden spoke and he went out and got hoaxes again. He went out with the hoaxes. He mentioned Rand Paul getting shot or beat up or whatever the hell he got. I didn't mention any of that. Biden had to do what career politicians do. He made it political. Trump did what people that love our country do. He made it about our country, and he made it about others. That's what leaders do. Leaders don't enhance in times of crisis their own political agenda. Leaders think of others. Servant leaders, serving others. And that's what Trump did here. Now, you can like or dislike Trump. That comes with territory. Who cares? But there is no denying that this shooting was a result of just an insane amount of rhetoric directed at a man who took a job that he didn't have to have, didn't need, probably shouldn't have taken, and has cost him a lot, 34 felonies and other things. But he did it because he loves our country. And I will never, ever, ever sway from that. I won't. I don't believe none of these guys love our country that are career politicians. I believe they love power, the money, the access, a little bit of fame that they get. But I believe Trump didn't need all that. And now he's gotten shot. Think about what Donald Trump has been through just for a second. Takes a job and all of a sudden he goes from being the absolute friend and kingpin of the African American community just because he went with a Republican agenda. Guess what? Now he's a racist. Now across the world he's racist. He's picketed, he's protested. People that were his best friends that came to him for everything now turned on him. Why? Because he didn't go with them. He didn't go Democrat. Then he faces all kind of charges, still does. Made up, trumped up, whatever you want to say, no pun intended, charges. Then he gets convicted, 34 felonies. Then he has to watch as a judge and other criminals are actually the ones putting him on a gag order, putting the former president on a gag order. Then he has to watch as some fat-ass district attorney down in Alabama shows how corrupt she is by stripping her subordinate and funneling money everywhere. And then he gets shot. But you know what? He doesn't back down. He doesn't back down even a second. He's right there. He's still here. Pumping his fist. Yeah, out the next day. Can you imagine? Somebody said it best. One guy survives a bullet while the other guy is shitting his pants. It's pretty good. Trump's been through a lot, man. And he just keeps coming back. That's America. I am thinking of you now, my fellow Americans. We have always been a unique union, America. The fabric of our gentle nation is tattered, but our courage and common sense must ascend and bring us back together as one. A monster who recognized my husband as an inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passion, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music and inspiration. The core facts of my husband's life, his human side, were buried below the political machine. That's right, Biden. That's right, Kamala Harris. That's right, Hitler, evil, biggest threat to our nation. You people disgust me. Our personal, structural, and life commitment until death is at serious risk. Political concepts are simple when compared to us human beings. Statement from Melania Trump. Now, while Jill Biden is yelling and screaming at us and making damn sure that her dementia-riddled husband can get through a speech, that's millennial Trump. But she can't go on the cover of Vogue because she's Donald Trump's wife. She's the most beautiful, classy, smart first lady in the history of American politics. But you'll never see her on the cover of anything. Why? Well, she's Donald Trump's wife. Again, Donald Trump took a job where his family is vilified that he didn't need. Now it's amazing. Here's more for millennial Trump. Let us remember that when the time comes to look beyond the left and the right, beyond the red and the blue, we all come from families with a passion to fight for a better life together. While we are here in this earthly realm, ascend above hate, the vitriol, and the simple-minded ideals that ignite violence. We all want a world where respect is paramount, family is first, and love transcends. We can realize this world again. Each of us must demand to get it back. We must insist that respect fills the cornerstones of our friendships again. That's Millennial Trump. It's pretty freaking good. It's a brilliant, beautiful woman. But all she's been is vilified by the left, who can't stand anything about Trump. Trump derangement syndrome is true. But let's go back. Let's go back to something. What really happened? Don't know. I'm going to let you figure all that out, but I know what came out of it. The strongest man that I've ever witnessed. I mean, people talk about, well, you played for Bobby. No, shut up. I mean, Trump gets hit, pumping his fist, out golfing the next day, and ready to go. That's a man. That's an American man. Here's what Trump had to say, or here's a little video of Trump exiting playing that evening. Look at this guy. That's it. American flag. By the way, New York Times, why'd you edit out the American flag? You're not proud of our country? New York Times, what are you doing? Why are you editing things out? And can you imagine the stupidity of people rooting for the miss? Maybe the people that were rooting for the miss were being honest. I mean, if you want Hitler eliminated, which he should have been in Germany, if you want the greatest threat to our democracy gone, guess what? Then I guess if you're being honest, then you would root for Trump getting shot. That's why it's so disingenuous of Joe Biden and Jill Biden and everyone else, AOC, and all these other idiots that have called this man Hitler. Matt Walsh said it. Why now are you glad he's okay? When yesterday, literally, he was Hitler. When yesterday, literally, the President of the United States called this man the greatest threat to our nation's democracy ever. But yet you're glad he's okay? I would think, just outside the box maybe, that if a guy was in our country as Hitler, you would want him eliminated. I would think if the man was the greatest threat to democracy that our country has ever faced, you would want him eliminated. Hell, when Osama bin Laden was seen as the greatest threat to our country, a nation celebrated when he was eliminated. I mean, it was everywhere. Everybody stood up and claimed credit. Obama, everybody, look at what we did, right? Well, why now are you glad Trump made it, you lying pricks? Why? I mean, it's a simple equation. One goes to the other. If you're sworn to protect our nation, if that's what the president's job is, and you've got Hitler in our nation, and you've got the biggest threat to democracy in our nation, why are you glad he's okay? And let's go another direction. Let me show you something. Well, I'm not going to show you something. I'm going to tell you something. You know, if you watch House of Cards, and I had a guy, a very, very influential guy in the first Trump White House tell me, Dan, people think that the White House is West Wing, the show. It's not. It's House of Cards. Like, what? Well, if you watch House of Cards, then you would think this way. Let's see. A week or so ago, the President of the United States told very influential people, enough of the debates, it's time to put Trump in our bullseye. Really? In our bullseye. A week or so ago, President of the United States said, you know what? Biggest threat to democracy there is. So he started with the biggest threat to democracy, went to the bullseye. Oh, by the way, in the middle of this, if you want to get conspiracy theory, in the middle of this, the DEI hire who was protecting Fritos a few years ago and is now the head of the Secret Service denied extra protection for Trump. Let's add it up. Biggest threat to democracy, put him in a bullseye, deny protection. I don't know. You tell me. Does it make sense? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I will listen. It would be interesting to know. It would be interesting to somebody to give me the other side of that. You know the other side, oh, come on, that's just another conspiracy theory. What, like the Russian hoax? Like what? Tucker Carlson being called a conspiracy theorist for what? Telling people that we are on track for an assassination attempt? Oh, I don't know, Hillary's laptop? Oh, I don't know, you tell me, I don't know. I mean, I got called bad names a few years ago in an article in Indy Star, and one of the things they said was I left or got fired by ESPN to join a conspiracy right-wing website. And everything that Clay and we've talked about here on OutKick has turned out to be true. While everything that the Indy Star and all these left-leaning newspapers turned out to be false. It's odd. It's very odd. All right, so our commander-in-chief, the dementia-ridden, sniffing, lying, ridiculous, let's win at not the ballot box, the battle box, couldn't say it. Couldn't say it was an assassination attempt. Here was Biden after the shooting.
President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to, I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
Yeah, that's great, right? Good for you. But again, I bet he, being as evil as that man and his family is, I bet they are disappointed in what happened. Not that he got shot, but that they missed. That's how I look at Biden. You can look at Biden different, but that's how I look at Biden. I mean, look, I have a tendency, I've told you this before, to pay attention, to listen, to watch. And when liars are going to lie and lie and lie about literally everything in their life, and this goes back, if you know anything about your history of Biden, this goes back to the 80s. I mean, now you're going to believe. Now you're going to think that he wants empathy. Now you want to think in the last election of his life that he wants to go out against this guy? No. ABC News anchors are actually dumb enough to blame Trump. Let's check out these idiots.
President Trump and his supporters have contributed to this violent rhetoric as well.
Well, absolutely, George. We were just looking back this morning at some of the things that former President Trump has said. He warned last March of potential death and destruction if he were charged by the Manhattan District Attorney. Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful. Trump in January warned of bedlam in the country if the criminal charges against him succeeded. And of course, in March, he said, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole. That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That will be the least of it. He said he was partly joking and that was taken out of context. But those are indeed his words. And you have heard it from supporters as well. And supporters are certainly in some parts angry. And let's remember January 6th. In so many ways for the campaign, January 6th will probably be in the background after yesterday's event. This is a very difficult time for this campaign.
All right. I mean, some old hag is mad, right? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, she can't just have empathy. These people can't have empathy. They cannot have empathy. They can't have anything but their own politics, because I don't know why. Because that old woman there who forgot her makeup, her life was better under Trump. But because they have this derangement syndrome, and is there anybody in media, again, I'll go with the violent rhetoric. I'm not buying that these guys want to tone it down. Is there anybody in the media you want to punch more than George Stephanopoulos? But they just can't do it, right? They just can't do it. They just can't tell you the truth. They just can't have empathy. They just have to continue. Yes, getting shot was Trump's fault. Had nothing to do with the leader of the free world, the most powerful man in the world, if we're going to go conspiracy theory like they are, saying put him in a bullseye. Nothing. Couldn't have it. No. All right, let's hear from a few others. Bill Maher. I like Bill Maher. I don't really like Bill Maher. I guess Bill Maher's coming over to the conservative thinking, or at least moderate, at least being a human being. But let's hear from Maher.
Well, unequivocally denounced. I don't care what you think about that. I'm sure there will be jokes that people will make because they hate him so much about they wish to went the other way. Not for me. Not for me. Not funny in any dimension. And whoever did this, whoever was the shooter, has done so much damage to the left, lost a lot of moral high ground, you're the violent people. You know, liberals don't shoot people. Liberals don't solve it that way. This shit has got to stop because none of this violence happens in a vacuum. It's never in a vacuum. But I'm glad he's okay. Trump, I gotta say this, the luckiest that has ever walked the face of the earth. And again, I'm happy he's okay. But I mean, 2016, that is kind of be the luckiest. He lost the popular vote by a lot. He just pulled it inside straight. Everything happened in his way. The Democratic turmoil that's going on in the party right now, with Joe Biden being his always lucky. And when I saw that photo today of him with the blood streaming down his face, I don't want to say the election is over, but because anything can happen in an election, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've always thought this, and I've always been taught this. You get kind of rewarded for luck or with luck when, I don't know, when you're pretty tough, when you're resilient, when you're honest. I'm not saying Trump's the most honest guy, but compared to the other guy, here's what Clay Travis had to say. I don't know at what point they will recognize it, if ever, but all the people claiming Trump supporters were on the wrong side of history are actually the people on the wrong side of history. It's been evident for years, but with each passing day, it becomes clearer to many. You know, here's the deal, and I'm anxious to see how this goes. If you're just going to talk about the election, it ain't who's voting, it's who's counting the votes. And again, we got to be delicate around here about elections and things of that nature. I'm trying to clean myself up here. But the truth of the matter is, this thing ain't over until probably 3 years from now. But my man Biden has spent his time vilifying Trump. He has spent every waking moment of this 3.5-year presidency thinking about, talking about, dividing, and now he's going to become the great uniter. But here's what happened last night. In the middle of all his bullshit, he almost did it. He almost did it. Anybody that says he didn't, you're full of crap. Watch this. He almost says, "Make America Great Again," and somehow that dementia-riddled brain stopped itself. Watch this.
So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit to make America think about it. Let's make.
Jesus. Yeah, vote for me because I want to make America great again. Oh, wait, I can't say that. I don't know what else to say. Forget about it. Can you play that again? Can you run that back? He is right there to say it too.
So tonight, I'm asking every American to recommit to make America think about it. Let's make.
Think about it. I tell you, he gets credit for saying stuff. He does. He gets credit for saying words. All right? But it's the slurring before and after that is so glorious, so great, so awesome, so stupid, so bad. Good for you, President. My brother is a delegate in Milwaukee. He says it's like a war zone. Good. I mean, how about we protect the man who's going to lead our country back, who's going to make America great again?